Right, this is an important video. Before we kick it off, I do need to say something. I've got a piece of tissue rammed in my nose because I keep having nosebleeds. It's just because I'm all a bit ill and sicky and I'm having to blow my nose all the time. So if it looks like I'm smuggling something in my face, that's what it is. It's grim, it's rubbing against my face, it's uncomfortable, but it's all for the content, boys. And then the second thing, before we kick off the video, I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of this month, which is a really big ask. That's like 6,000 more subscribers. It's an insane number. But if you guys can help me get there, that'd be massively appreciated. Started making this sort of content around about a year ago. In fact, a year ago on the 26th of July. So it'd be great to get to 100k before the year's up. Anyway, now let's get into the video. Sorry if that was annoying. EU chat control was just extended until 2028. Here's what that means for your privacy. A failed EU vote just revived mass scanning of private messages on Gmail, iCloud and Instagram. Here's what EU chat control actually changes for everyday users everywhere. So I put a video out the other day which is talking about this piece of legislation. So there's been something called chat control, which has basically meant that the EU are able to scan your private messages and conversations and basically utilize that to find out if you're a criminal or not, or paint you as one. Let's not go down the conspiracy theories, even though they're 100% bloody correct. So this chat control thing means that every time that you send a message to your friend or whatever within the European Union, and it's not just the EU, by the way, because there's treaties with the UK and everything. Every time you send messages to your friends, that can be screened, checked by social media companies. Now, this screening comes down to basically AI scanning. So if they think you're saying something inappropriate about children or sending inappropriate images, whatever it might be, then they can basically store that and keep that locked away for the government to access should they wish. And basically, it was a voluntary system. So social media companies like Facebook, whatever, can be volunteers to be part of this system. A new piece of legislation was proposed to make this involuntary, so everyone had to comply with it. So some more context here. The measure, often referred to by critics as Chat Control 1.0, passed Thursday under unusual parliamentary rules after opponents failed to secure the absolute majority needed to block it. Despite more lawmakers voting against the proposal in favour, 314 against, 276 in favour, and 17 abstentions. The extension will take effect once EU governments, the council, formally sign it off. Now, what was really interesting about this is they basically announced this a week ago. Then they decide, it's absolutely, I can't believe I'm saying this, you're gonna have to just hold on. They announced it a week ago because they knew the EU Parliament were breaking up for summer. So all of the people that work in the EU Parliament, for example, will be going on summer holidays. Some of them would leave early because they'd book an extra couple of days off, take it as actual annual leave. And what this meant was that there was not enough representatives there to appeal this, because to be clear, this has been rejected many times before. So they decided to do it on a date when it's less likely to get rejected. And alas, that's exactly what's happened. Privacy advocates argue the extension enables warrantless surveillance of private conversations, while supporters say it preserves an important tool for identifying child exploitation online until permanent legislation can be agreed upon. Now, here's the thing. Screening everyone's messages will prevent loads of different crimes from taking place. It will also make sure that the wrong people get arrested for crimes that they didn't commit, because me and the boys say some really controversial things in chats together, but it doesn't mean that's actually what you believe. There's jokes, there's context, there's friendships. I sometimes send my friends complete fucking nonsense and they know exactly what it means. Context is an important thing, and this law is devoid of that. It's whatever message you sent can be used, screenshotted and saved and used in a court of law to make something sound like something that you didn't actually say. And this is all part of the EU's bigger picture when it comes to mass surveillance. Now, at this point in the video, before I go into how bad the mass surveillance has got to, I do want to say this screening thing will also apply to the way that you utilize internet, because they're also trying to bring on board browsers in these respective EU countries. For example, if you use Google in Europe, then your searches and everything can be screened and saved, or even if you're using private browsers in these countries, that's what they want to do. Now, this is where it's important to listen to the next bit. If you're using a VPN, you can put yourself outside of the respective locations. You can basically be accessing the internet from any country, well, one of 91 countries if you use the link down below, but you can choose a different country where these laws and regulations don't apply to make sure that you're not being profiled based on your online activity. Private internet access don't keep any logs, so all your traffic that goes through private internet access is fully encrypted and it can't be accessed by private internet access, governments, whoever. It's fully private. So with stuff like this happening, it's not a bulletproof solution, but you definitely will afford yourself some more privacy by using a VPN, because at the very least you can put your device outside of the respective countries where these laws and regulations apply. So use the link down below for private internet access. You get 2 months free, 87% off, and let's get back to the video. When I talk about surveillance that's taking place in the EU, there's a lot of weird laws that have come in recently, and there's an example here. The extension also lands as the EU broadens monitoring in other areas. As of July 2026, every new car sold in the bloc must include a camera that monitors the driver's face. And they're doing this to basically make sure you're paying attention, you didn't fall asleep at the wheel, what you're doing, where you're going. And at the end of the day, I think there's more to this than we really know at this point, but we will cover this in a separate video. I think this speaks to a more general direction that this is going in. I'm not saying that this is the worst thing that's ever happened anywhere or anything like that, but this is the stepping stone, a very big stepping stone to further regulation, because once this gets passed, that's it. Governments have the right to read all your messages, and we shouldn't allow that. We can't allow that. So for now, that's what you need to know, okay? That's where we're at the moment. There are more steps involved in this process, and I will do a full extensive video on everything this means for you, but that's going to take me a bit more time. But for the time being, I want you to know that this is happening, and there is a link down below to this full thing so you can read a bit more information about it, but it's important to take on board what this means for your digital privacy. Anyway, thank you for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I shall see you all in the next one.